strong when we are weak. Most of us have strengths that we are proud and assured of, but we also tend to shy away or hide the areas that we are weak in. Even the Apostle Paul, who experienced one of the most dramatic conversions, preached salvation to the Gentiles, and who wrote the majority of the New Testament, had struggles. He faced a challenge that he begged God to take away. Each time the response of the Lord was, "My grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness." 2 Corinthians 12:9a. Having weaknesses can make us feel insecure, uncertain, and fearful. But these thorns in us are more than mere inconveniences. They draw us to depend on God, so that He can work in and through us, doing only the things He can do. If we only know how to depend on our own strengths, we are missing out on a whole lot of supernatural power that God wants to give us. The very things in our lives that seem to cripple us, for example, sins, weaknesses, failures, are the very things we can overcome because of Christ. May we learn Paul's perspective on this matter. That's why I take pleasure in my weaknesses, and in the insults, hardships, persecutions, and troubles that I suffer for Christ. For when I am weak, then I am strong. 2 Corinthians 12:10. When we received Christ into our lives, many of us were not wise, powerful, or wealthy in the world's eye. 1 Corinthians 1:26. Our confidence in drawing near to God is always based on His grace, never on our ability or performance. We might have spent years building on our strengths, and these are achievements we can be proud of, but let us step into this new year learning how to be assured of God's strength and grace flowing to help us in our weaknesses. It is a sure fact that when we are weak, our God in us is strong. Reflection: what were some weaknesses in your life that turned into strengths as you gave them over to the Lord? What are you struggling with today? Take some time to commit them to the Lord and allow Him to empower you in these areas. Prayer: Dear Lord, I commit to depend more on You in all areas this year. I commit to surrender my weaknesses to You and choose to not be ashamed of my weaknesses, because You can turn those weaknesses into strengths.